I want to bring up an old segment of the show, 2 minutes of hate, because I actually do have one this episode.
All right, go off, King.
I got Saul Goodman'd this week. Has this ever happened to you guys?
You idiot. You got owned.
I got Saul Goodman'd, and I don't know what that means.
You got faced, man. I have no idea.
Does that mean you got conned or you got defended?
Even more obscene.
Did you get the wide picture of him? Is that what you got?
Yes, I had a hard drive article come out the other day, and it was like rumor grandma's amiibo's worth a ton or something like that. And it was a picture of like the Precious Moments figurines.
Yeah.
The headline,
it's good.
The headline goes up the other day. And sometimes I'll check at the replies or the quote retweets to this to see people who are like, this is the funniest thing I've seen all week. And I'm like, hell yeah, man. And then I go to the replies and it's nothing but like the Bob Odenkirk headshot from like Breaking Bad, where it's like 3D moving around his face.
Yeah.
Have you seen this, Frank? It's just like this image of like Bob Odenkirk making this dour expression. And like they made a 3D image of it, and the camera's like zooming in and out, but it's a GIF of that. And I'm like looking at the responses, and I'm like, it's like nothing but that. And then somebody else posted another GIF of like Saul Goodman adjusting his tie, and I'm like, did I do something wrong? Am I missing something here?
I have no idea.
I think in my head, well, like the last season of Saul Goodman is they conned this old lady out of a fuckload of money. So it's like, maybe that's just like, oh, I smell a good scheme. I don't know.
Yeah, but there's also amongst Gen Z, there's a lot of people that haven't seen Breaking Bad but think that it's hilarious, and they just keep posting memes about it. And I think Saul sort of gets wrapped up in that a little, where it's just 100%.
Like,
we're going to play the theme song over some irrelevant video or something like that.
Oh,
and
yeah,
that's the joke,
that's the whole TikTok thing where every meme is an offshoot of an offshoot of an offshoot of an offshoot. Where like it's so absurd, but ultimately like it just does it. I don't know. I feel like if you don't care about it, it doesn't give you any power. So that's where I'm just like, whatever. Hey, thank you for engaging with the tweet. That's why I like every single reply I get on Twitter. It's like, yeah, you engaged with me. Thanks. I'll give everything a like. So
more people are seeing it, but then I start to wonder to myself, like, what does it mean? Because I know it's sort of like this absurdist nothing humor, but the fact that like so many people were responding with this, like the only thing I could think of, I had a couple theories. One was like, okay, so there is an episode in like Better Call Saul season 1 where he's like talking to these elderly women about, like Frank said, conning them out of money. But there is like remember the Alpine Shepherd boy? Like she had those like expensive little like ceramic figurines.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, maybe that's what this is, but it didn't feel like it was like specific enough a reference. So my other thought was like, they think my joke is corny, and they're posting like, the Saul faces is supposed to be like this whole like you got the whole squad laughing kind of thing. And I'm like,
there is a whole squad of them because everyone's just doing the same image.
Right. I'm like, that's smart. Like that's worse than somebody saying this sucks. Just this Bob Odenkirk face. Saying it Everybody's just posting the same GIF of Bob Odenkirk. And
I take it a compliment. Bob Odenkirk's a Chicago native. Bob Odenkirk did sketch writing. Bob Odenkirk wrote for Late Night. You're following Bob Odenkirk's steps, so I think that's like a blessing. Like, hey, this kid's the next Odenkirk. I take it as a compliment. Also, Bob Odenkirk's memoir, he talks about growing up in Chicago. So
yeah, I read it.
It's
great book. No, I'm a massive fan. I mean, like to be quite honest, like actually he is a big reason. Like I majored in the same thing he went to college for, like at one of the same colleges he went to. I did like Second City writing afterwards, and I'm just like, I'm like, this guy's got to figure it out. So actually, you know what, Frank? You put a positive spin on this. These guys were just validating me. They're just like, we see you. You're going to be
all going back to the source. Yeah, they're drawing the distinction.
Yeah, you and Grant are going to make the next Mr. Show. Just wait for it. Keep doing what you're doing.
I don't want to be David Cross.
That's fair.
I'm going to make my own guy.
You know what? I like David. I didn't mean to be smart you, and I'll be like, yeah, fuck David Cross.
Yeah, no, I like hilarious. David Cross too. I just don't want to be him.
That's fine. You could be you, and I'll be me.
Mr. TV, we can call it. How's that?
Yeah. It's clever enough and ironic enough to be a throwback, but it's sort of its own thing too.